Are we rolling? Yes, we are.
Hi guys, welcome to another video. I'm Shan from Shan Outdoors, and this is my new X-Mid Pro 2. Hey guys, Shan here, and today we're going to be taking a look at some pieces of gear that I'm going to be taking with me on my 2024 adventures. You may notice here behind me is a different tent from my trusty Zpacks duplex. I've been taking the duplex on adventures for a few years now, and there were a couple of things I wished I could change about the tent, so I decided to start looking for a new tent for my 2024 adventures, and I settled on the Durston X-Mid Pro 2. Hopefully it stays put because it is kind of windy today. This year they came out with a Pro 2 Plus version, and I started looking at it after having some, I don't want to say issues, but deciding that there were a few things about my Zpacks duplex that I wanted to change. The X-Mid Pro 2 is a super popular tent. It is known for its unique geometric design and for the way that it holds up to inclement weather. The vestibules are really large. I'll see if I can get you a shot from the inside here in a bit, but I like to do a lot in my vestibule area. I cook there, I put a lot of gear there. That's one of the reasons I went for a two-person tent, because I just wanted a little bit more room, and I felt that for the weight it was worth it. Another thing that I liked about this tent was the offset trekking poles. So if you are familiar with the Zpacks duplex, you know that the trekking pole setup is a bit different from this tent. You have the trekking pole in the middle of the doorway versus offset out of the way of the door like with this tent. I think I would have purchased this tent just for that alone. Another feature of this tent that I really liked was the way that the door zips. So the door zips up and out instead of the duplex, which is like a half moon shape and it flops out or flops back in. So regardless, you are traipsing all over. Your netting here could have been designed better. I just liked this one much better because this one just hangs here and you can go in and out without worrying about stepping on it, snagging it, or potentially damaging it. This tent also sets up with less stakes. It's advertised on Durston's website that this tent sets up with 4 trekking poles. With my duplex, I always bring extra just in case you lose some along the way, but I normally used 6 to 8 with my duplex just to give me extra stability and a little more headroom using the side guy out points. This one you can set up with 4 tent stakes and it is usable and ready to go. But one of the things that I like to do is to stake out the vestibule doors. I don't like those flapping around. I like to utilize the space. So I would definitely use 6 with this minimum. That's just me, but it is entirely possible to set up and use with 4 tent stakes. The extra space for weight was another thing that I really liked about this tent. All of those pluses, and it comes in less in weight than my Zpacks duplex, and it's also cheaper. So my duplex ran me $699. The X-Mid Pro 2 cost me $654. I did purchase a ground sheet for both of those tents at $43. The Dyneema ground sheet that came with my duplex was something that I will probably end up using for other tents in the future, because the ground sheet for this tent cost a whopping $83. I think what I'm going to do is just end up going with a sheet of polycryo and just taking that with me. I think it's probably going to be strong enough, and it's definitely going to be lighter. However, both tents say that you can use them without a ground sheet because they're supposed to be designed strong enough to withstand abrasions and punctures. But when you're out on trail, accidents can happen. You never know what you might come across, what might happen, and I would rather have that little bit of extra protection than not. This tent, the Xmid Pro 2, weighs in at 20.1 ounces, and my Zpacks Duplex, which is the spruce green version, which is the heavier denier fabric, it weighs in at 20.5 ounces. It also comes with, and I don't have it set up here, let me open it up. It also comes with these handy little vents. Let me get it, I'm doing it. There we go. It also comes with these handy little vents right here, so you can open it up for additional ventilation. Tents, especially tents that are single wall, tend to get condensation on the inside, so anytime you can have an extra breeze, that is a plus. Another piece of gear that I decided to change this year or add to my gear was the Thermarest Neo Air X Therm Max. Oh, it's the NXT Max, sorry. It is a wider sleeping pad than my regular Thermarest Neo Air X Lite, which is my tried and true. I think everybody is familiar with that sleeping pad. It's a wonderful sleeping pad. It's been with me for many years now. I'm going to go with the NXT Max version because I'm going to be doing some more cold weather camping this season, and this one has an R value of 7.3 as opposed to the Thermarest Neo Air X Lite, which is, I believe, 4.3 or 4.5, I'm not quite sure. It's got a higher R value and it's also wider. I don't like my arms sliding off my sleeping pad when I'm trying to sleep, and that was a fact of life with my regular Thermarest Neo Air X Lite. Another thing that I'm going to be changing up for this year is probably not a surprise to you guys, but it is footwear. So I have talked about footwear a lot. I've been through quite a footwear journey over these past several years, and sometimes it takes trying a bunch of different things to see what works for you, and sometimes what works in one environment doesn't work in another. So I started out with boots and then became a die-hard trail runner fan. I liked the fact that they are lighter, that they dry easier, they're not gonna hold moisture like heavy Gore-Tex boots. So I became a trail runner convert after my first trip to Scotland, trying to do that in some Gore-Tex boots. My podiatrist suggested that I try some Hokas, and those did help for the issues that I was having with my feet. But when I tried to use the Hoka trail runners out on trail, they did not work for me. They left me feeling like I was unsteady on my feet, that I was not very sure-footed, that I felt I for sure was going to twist an ankle out there. The Ultras were the most comfortable, was solid, I was stable. So this year I'm going to be going with the Ultra Lone Peaks. I'm going to return to the Lone Peak. I have the 4s and absolutely love them. And let me just say, I am a big proponent of buying gear used. There are so many backpacking forums, gear groups, eBay. There's so much out there. I found these on eBay. These are the Ultra Lone Peak 7s. I am going to use these. They are a 0-drop shoe. I do need a little bit of arch support, so I am going to be putting an insert in these. I'm going to be experimenting over the next several months, and I'll let you guys know how that works out. Another piece of gear I'm changing for 2024 is going to be my pack. So in 2023, I really made a concerted effort to reduce my pack size, and it was a big drop from the previous year. The previous year, I had a Zpacks Arcall Zip. It was a 64-liter pack, and I decided to go with a 38-liter pack. I believe it was the Zpacks Nero Robic 38-liter that I took last year to Scotland and England, and I learned a lot about myself on that trip. I did do a review video of that pack. I will link that down below. But for the adventures that are coming up, I am going to need a bigger pack, a pack that is a little bit sturdier and is going to allow me to carry a little bit more gear. The Nero 38 had a max load of 20 pounds, and I for sure put that through its paces and kind of ended up over, I'm pretty sure I was over 20 pounds at one point. My Nero 38 was a very capable pack for what I was doing, and in the right circumstances, it's a great little pack. But I learned a lot about what I need in a pack, and that particular pack is frameless and has no hip belt. It's an extreme minimalist pack, and I wanted to see how I fared with that. And with my shoulder issues and my back issues, I learned that I really love a pack with a little more support, especially a hip belt. Not to say that the Nero did not have one. It had a little, it had a little strap. That's pretty much what it was. That was the hip belt. It's designed as a minimalist pack. I knew what I was getting. The Unbound 55 I had been eyeballing for a little bit because I had seen some other videos on it, and it had a couple things that I thought were super cool, namely this double front pocket. If you have something that might be in the very bottom of the front pocket and you don't want to take everything out to get to it, you've got this right here. So the double front pocket was a big plus for me. I thought that was super ingenious. The pocket on the bottom, there is a pocket where you can slide rain gear, you can put trash. I think I will use this more of like a trash port as I'm going along, and just, put your trash up underneath here. So many things that you can use this for. The side pockets are huge. I've put 4 liters of water in this pack, and it carries really well. And there was actually room for tent stakes and a couple of other things besides those water bottles. And they're also adjustable. So if you have things in here that are not taking up a whole lot of space and you want to cinch it up to make sure they don't fall out, you have that option as well. The hip belt is removable. It is adjustable and removable. It's designed for through hiking, and keeping in mind that you will probably lose weight from the point at which you start a long distance trail till the end. So it does come out, and you can switch it out for any weight loss that might occur. They do come in black and white. The white version is a little bit lighter. The black version is a little bit heavier. I don't know if you can hear this, but the material is a little bit sturdier. So the white pack is 50 denier and the black one is 150 denier. There are bees around me. I have been taking it on a few local adventures, and I plan on taking it with me for my adventures coming in 2024. I hope you've enjoyed this video today. So with that, I'm going to sign off because the sun is burning my face, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.